Let's go Broncos! What happened during the Broncos mini-week off might seem calm at first glance, but don't be fooled. It was a weekend full of hard blows and missed opportunities that could have major consequences in the final stretch. And now, it all comes down to one game, Broncos versus Chiefs. The winner takes control. The loser risks falling behind for good. Believe me, you'll want to hear everything I'm about to tell you, because what I've discovered could completely change how we see this playoff race. But before we dive into this crucial situation, do me a favor, click the like button only if you've ever yelled at your TV during a Broncos game. And since you're here, leave a comment below. Go Broncos! Let's reclaim the West! Okay, get ready. Here's what's really happening with the Denver Broncos. Let's get straight into it, because the Denver Broncos just had a rough Sunday during their mini-bye week, and they didn't even step on the field. While enjoying some well-earned rest, Broncos country was glued to 3 key games across the NFL landscape, hoping for a little help from around the league to secure a stronger grip on the AFC West. Instead, everything that could go wrong did. First, all eyes were on the Colts versus Falcons matchup in Germany. A Falcons win would have knocked the Colts off the #1 seed in the AFC, but Atlanta, in true fashion, collapsed in the fourth quarter. The Colts pulled off the win and held onto that top seed. Bad news for Denver's hopes of jumping the queue. Then came the Patriots versus Buccaneers showdown. Both teams entered the week with matching 8-2 records, and though Denver holds the tiebreaker in seeding, it was critical for playoff positioning that the Patriots take a hit. They didn't. Instead, they notched another win, keeping pressure squarely on the Broncos' backs as they fight to maintain their playoff position. And finally, the most painful blow came during Sunday Night Football. While we streamed the game live right here on Broncos Syndicate, we were rooting for the Steelers to take down the Chargers. If the Chargers lost, Denver would have earned a full 2-game cushion atop the AFC West, massive insurance heading into a brutal showdown with Kansas City. But that didn't happen either. The Chargers came out victorious, slicing Denver's lead in the West to a razor-thin 1 game. If Denver loses to the Chiefs next week, and the Chargers handle their business against Jacksonville, the Broncos would lose the top spot in the division. Now let's take a look at where the AFC playoff picture stands after all the dust settled. The Colts remain the #1 seed at 8-2. Denver also sits at 8-2 but is now locked into the #2 seed, followed by the Patriots, also at 8-2. The Steelers hold the AFC North lead at 5-4 despite their loss, while the Chargers claim the top wildcard spot at 7-3. The Bills, following a tough loss to Miami, drop to the 6th seed at 6-3. Jacksonville rounds out the current playoff picture at 5-4. If the playoffs started today, the Broncos would face Jacksonville in a first-round home matchup. The Bills would take on the Patriots, and the Chargers would clash with the Steelers. Despite Sunday's setbacks, Denver still boasts a 91% chance to make the playoffs, down slightly from 92% before that SNF result. But here's the bottom line. All of that math, all those probabilities, they mean nothing if the Broncos don't handle their own business. They can't count on other teams to hand them wins or bail them out. The only sure path to holding onto that #1 spot in the AFC West and keeping at least the #2 seed is to win. Period. That starts with the Chiefs this coming week, a team that's currently just 1 game behind Denver at 5-4. Kansas City has a 65% chance to make the playoffs, and they are absolutely coming into this game with the mentality that their season is on the line. If they drop this one, their chances to win the division might vanish for good. That makes this game a must-win for them, but make no mistake, it's just as much of a must-win for us. The Chiefs aren't a team you can afford to play around with. If the Broncos come out sluggish like they've done in previous games, sleepwalking through the first 3 quarters and trying to flip the switch in the fourth, it's game over. Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo will rip apart any little error. They are simply too sharp, too polished, too dangerous. We've got to bring 4 quarters of clean football, no excuses. The good news? Sean Payton has had his squad ready for the Chiefs in the past. I'm not talking about that meaningless Week 18 game last year when Kansas City rested their starters. I mean full-force matchups with Mahomes, Kelsey, Chris Jones, and the whole crew. Payton's game plans have stood up well, and we've seen Bo Nix play solid football against high-caliber opponents like this. Because if they don't, the consequences could be devastating, not just in the standings, but in the locker room morale, in the trust between this coaching staff and its players, and in the growing confidence that's been building in Broncos country all season long. We've seen flashes of what this team can be. Bo Nix has shown composure in tough spots. The defense, when dialed in, has been stingy and opportunistic, but those flashes need to evolve into consistency, especially now. You can't afford to wake up in the fourth quarter against a team like Kansas City. If Denver starts slow, this game could be over by halftime, and with it, the control over their own playoff fate. And let's not forget, Kansas City is desperate. With a loss, they're looking at long odds to win the AFC West, odds that could shift the balance of power in the division for the foreseeable future. They know it. The Broncos know it. The entire league knows it. This isn't just a Week 11 game. It's a statement game. It's about showing the AFC and themselves that they're not pretenders, that they belong. This is where Sean Payton needs to earn every penny. Game planning from Mahomes is like trying to plug a leaking dam with your fingers. You think you've sealed one hole and another bursts open. So Payton, Vance Joseph, and the entire coaching staff need to be on point. No busted coverages. No sloppy penalties. No botched clock management. Because again, this is not just about one win. This is about establishing dominance in the AFC West and keeping the dream of a home playoff game alive. And when we talk about leadership, this is also the kind of game where we need to see guys like Cortland Sutton, Justin Simmons, and even the rookie Bo Nix take a vocal role. Rally the locker room. Keep the energy up. Keep the belief high. If Denver can come out of Arrowhead with a win, they not only retain their lead in the West, but they send a message to the rest of the league. This team is for real. Now, the silver lining in all this is that after this clash with the Chiefs, Denver gets a full bye week. A chance to heal. A chance to reset. A chance to fine-tune everything before they take on Washington and continue their late-season push. That bye week becomes infinitely more valuable if they head into it with momentum instead of questions. If they beat the Chiefs, they can breathe just for a moment. If they don't, they'll be staring down the barrel of a must-win gauntlet to end the season. And think about this from the fan perspective. Broncos country has waited years, years, to see meaningful football in November. No one wants another season ending in December disappointment. The energy, the fire, the hunger is there. But the execution has to follow. This is the week where legends are made, where teams are defined, and where pretenders are separated from contenders. This game could determine everything: playoff seeding, AFC West supremacy, and whether Sean Payton's first season in Denver is remembered as a turning point or just another chapter in a long rebuild. The table is set. The lights will be bright. The stakes? Sky high. So what do you think? Broncos country, can Denver finally get over the hump and knock off the Chiefs in a game that matters most? Drop your predictions in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss an update. More exclusive Broncos coverage is coming your way this week, including full game previews, injury reports, and insider analysis. Tap that next video on the screen and I'll see you there. Go Broncos! And with that said, the fire is on. The Denver Broncos are staring down one of the most pivotal moments of their entire season. Everything is on the line. No more help is coming from around the league. We watched the Falcons blow it, the Patriots sneak one out, and the Chargers grab a crucial win in prime time. That means Denver's only real path to securing the AFC West and possibly even a first-round bye in the playoffs is to handle their business week after week, starting with Kansas City. This is not just another game. This is the game. Because if the Broncos lose to the Chiefs and the Chargers beat the Jaguars next week, then just like that, poof, Denver drops from the top spot in the AFC West, and the momentum shifts drastically toward Los Angeles. And I don't know about you, but I'm not ready to let the Chargers steal this division away. Not after everything the Broncos have done to claw their way into this position. The stakes are clear. Beat Kansas City, and you hold on to control. Lose, and you risk letting everything slip away. There's no margin for error, no backup plan, no cushion. This is a playoff atmosphere already. And yes, I know it's still the regular season, but this feels like the postseason because the implications are just that massive. Bo Nix has shown flashes that he can rise to the moment. He's played well when it counted, but now we need 4 complete quarters. This can't be another game where we sleepwalk through 3